As Tasmanians, we take this for granted, the closeness to the source and the colour of that soil. We all grew up with it and we all know it really well. But the rest of Australia and other countries don't know what it's like to count your food miles in metres, not kilometres. And that is what's going to bring them here. The Living City will give the people who live in this area and the people from all over the world access to that produce. I consider the produce that is grown along this coastline to be as good as it gets anywhere in the world. It's just hard to get your hands on. Well, not anymore. Food is how we show we love. It is memories built, stories shared, celebrations had. It is passion and pride. And this is no more evident than in the producers that live in our little part of the world. Current tourism numbers of 1.15 million to Tasmania are growing and expected to grow to 1.5 by 2020. 604,000 of those people visited northern Tasmania, and 130,000 of those directly came off the Spirit of Tasmania. Imagine you're one of the 130,000 people who come to visit Tasmania and get off the Spirit. You've got to imagine that most of them who are coming here have heard of the produce, have heard of the whiskey, have heard of the beer, have heard of the wine that Tasmania is so famous for. So as soon as they get off that boat, they're gagging to get their hands on it. Now once we build this, we will be able to promote it through those channels to make sure they know when they come off that boat, they turn right, they come in, and they can access all the things they've heard so much about as soon as they arrive in this state. Now, I don't think there's any questioning how proud I am of Devonport, but you have to be honest, this is not our crowning glory. The way this city is structured, and especially the livability of this part, is not great, but we're taking care of that. Where I'm standing right now is where the food pavilion will be situated. There'll be 4 major anchor tenants which make up the outskirts of the food pavilion. In the middle is where most of the hustle and bustle will happen around the market. And then there'll be a mezzanine level which is linked to food education and training on hospitality and food here on the northwest coast. We'll turn this eyesore into something that people want to come and visit Tasmania for. Stage 1 of this urban renewal project will see the car park that's behind me turned into a multi-level car park and a new civic building, which will house the new council offices, the library, cafes and a convention centre. This will be a meeting place where community can come and access all of those services, but also it links directly to the food pavilion. There'll be a car park, so parking won't be a problem, and it also will open up the rest of the city to the river, which is the lifeblood of this city. Now, you have to think about the jobs that this will create. You also have to think about how many times have you used this car park in the past. I've probably used it twice during Christmas when the city is busy. So we're going to lose a car park that is hardly ever utilised and put in a place where people can come and access services and meet. There'll be tourism offices here. So tourists, when they arrive off the boat, can come over, they can set up their cradle to coast tasting experience here. This will be their first port of call to get information about local farm gates. But then again, the farms will be brought into this place. The food pavilion, which will be just there, will give people access to be able to come across and enjoy the services that are in the civic centre. The idea of this whole living city is making Devonport more livable. We need to get out and live and take access and advantage of what makes the northwest coast truly spectacular, and that's the produce and the people. When we build the living city and connect its beating heart to that closeness to the source that we have taken for granted for so many years, they will come in their droves to experience what we've always had.
Okay, that's a wrap.
I love the northwest coast.